What's going on this evening, YouTube land? This is a nice update video that I basically was making an excuse to do because I wanted to do a video right before Christmas. So, just want to do an update on my bench. You know, I live in the Midwest, and from time to time in the Midwest, it gets a little cold. So, I'm pretty sure the majority of the country is going through some storm issues, and we're no different. So today the high was -9, which is really cold for this area, but it basically puts painting out of commission for me. So I just thought I'd do an update on a couple builds, 3 builds that I've been working on in the process. You know, I can't paint, so might as well build, right? So first we're going to talk about the USAC build. This is the 1970 Roadrunner. So as you can see, I have put some bare metal foil on there. Haven't really got any further. I did an update and got the front grille in. Now I've done some, I didn't want to take the chrome off. So what I've done, there were some nubs up here. So I sanded those flush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a plastic card, cut it to size, and then paint that chrome and then rest it on top of this, almost like a plate that you see in engine bays anymore. So that's the plan for that one. Pretty much going to do a box stock build on this one. I did a video on it. So that should be old hat for folks. This one here, you can tell by the back half I've done on this one. It is the 66 AMT 66 Pro Street Nova. I back halved it and put it on this 64 Thunderbolt. And this thing is really turned out pretty sweet. I got bare metal foil on it. Bare metal foil turned out wonderful. Still got a lot of work to do on it. I see a little where it's not sticking. That's the old stuff. But you know, I'm going to paint the inside, black out the inside, but I believe with this back half even in here, I will be able to put the back seat in, make it as stock as possible. I like the interiors when I Pro Street these cars. I like the interiors to be stock. I'm not a big roll bar fan, and probably part of that is because I'm not like I didn't grow up as a car guy. You know, I wasn't working on cars necessarily when I was young, so I don't really have a idea of how roll cages are supposed to go. But there's always going to be a first, and I'd really like to build one just for the experience. So this is a really nice paint job that I got on this car. This is a stoplight red, Tester stoplight red. Turned out fabulous. I'm starting to become a pretty loyal enamels guy. So, and then this is a build that I'm currently working on that I just started. This is a 69 Nova kit. Let's get the kit out. It is, let's see if I can get room to show you that. That's the 69 Chevy Nova kit. Don't have the space to show you the whole box, but it is what it is. I took this and basically used, I saw a couple of builds where people took the 67 Chevelle frame, put it up in here. So that's what I did. And it works pretty good. Hear that snap? I've narrowed it just a little bit back here. I've also whittled in the tubs a little bit so that I can get them further up in there so I can get it lower. But you can see this is gonna fit pretty good. Another thing that I've done is I've worked on the front. So when I do these, I typically will take off, see if I can get the frame out without destroying it. So you can see that I marked it where I wanted to whittle in the wheel tub so I can get it further up in there. And one of the things I've done is these come with wheel wells. I've cut the wheel wells out. I cut this frame out because typically that hangs too low for me. I want to get this thing as low as I can get it. So my plan is for this, I'm just going to use this interior. And you know, I'm going to put the seats in here. What you'll notice is I cut it right down through here and took out about a 1/4 inch, maybe a little less than that, and put it back together. So basically what I did with this frame is sectioned it. Frame is sitting really good and it fits perfect, and now I've got the wheel well centers where they're supposed to be. Typically what I do is I get a measurement. You know, Pappy taught me this when he did his tutorial when I first came to YouTube over a year ago. But I like to mock them up and then set them on a piece of paper and then set the wheel centers and then mark those wheel centers and then measure that. And then see what I got and then see what both frames measure out to be. And then I cut out what I need to cut out. Basically how I do it. What I'm gonna do with this front is I'm gonna use the firewall from the 67 kit. Here's the firewall. I cut it down and I cut it as far as I could cut it. If you see these 2 holes right here, I cut it down pretty much as far as I could go. And then I rounded the corners so it looks like something. And I'm gonna set it up in there and see how she goes. So that's the plan. So those are my builds. This one will be painted a Blue Fire metallic enamel that I got from NCW Paints. Let's see if I can get that paint out for you guys. It's basically a B5 Mopar paint. So we're going to try that. And you know, a lot of times when I look at these paints and I'm like, well, that's a small bottle. But when you mix it with thinner, you can double the capacity of this. So it'd be that big. And I like to mix mine with leveling thinner, you know, the Unicorn Tears. And I like to mix it basically a 60 to 40, 60 paint, 40 thinner. And it turns out usually really good. Let's see what else we got. What else do I want to talk about tonight? Let's talk about tools, shall we? So I was watching Mark Batson's channel again, and he talked about a tool that he had, and I thought, I think I need to get that. So this is a tool off of Micromark, and what this is basically a punch set. It's a micro punch set. And where this comes in really handy is when you're working on your dashes. So what you do is pull this apart like that, and then you take your decal set, and you know the carrier film on these gauges is too big for them to fit inside the actual gauge. So what you do is you find the hole, the appropriate hole, and you basically put it in here, squeeze it down, and punch that out where it's exactly the same size, and it'll fit right inside your gauge with no carrier film on your decal. You don't have to worry about it sitting down. And then you can use whatever cover that you're going to do. So here lately I've been hooked on acetate. So basically punching out acetate and making it look like a gauge surface. What's the word I'm looking for? A lens, a gauge lens. So these things go in here like this, and then you just hit them with your knife or whatever mallet you want to use, and it punches through that decal set, and basically works really good. I watched Mark use it. I watched a guy by the name of Will Patterson uses them. Will Pattison. He uses this as well, and he's an airplane guy. So he's a really good channel to watch. He's really kind of an engineered kind of mind thinker. He thinks a little different than I do. So that's that. What else do we want to talk about? One other thing. Let's talk about brushes. So I got a couple brushes out. I don't know how many people have these, but I was a huge, back when I was doing model building back in the day, I used to love Model Master brushes. That was my favorite because they were red sable and they were soft and they were. But anyway, nobody really talks about this, but I'm going to talk about it. How this brush right here. No, not that one. This brush right here is every bit of 30 years old, and it still looks pretty good. It's got some staining, but it still stays in shape and it's still working good. And how I clean these is, if I'm going to have a painting session, I basically will clean out the paint using the appropriate thinner of whatever type of paint I'm using. So if I'm using a lacquer paint, then it's lacquer thinner. If I'm using enamel paint, then it's enamel thinner or mineral spirits, one of the two. But then when I'm done, I take this and dip it in water, and then I take Dawn dishwashing liquid and I rub up a lather until I see no more pigment coming out of this brush, and it takes that thinner out and it basically keeps your brushes nice and soft. And then at the end, you can just basically turn it and then shape it so you don't have these splayed bristles. So that's my tip of the day. So I think that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little longer than normal, but I hope you guys have a really good Christmas. I've enjoyed all the videos I watch on YouTube immensely. I've enjoyed being a part of this community. I'm very thankful to be a part of this community and thankful to learn what we learn when it comes to model building. Every day when you're building is an adventure. So everybody have a good Christmas. Everybody enjoy the holidays and enjoy each other's company and enjoy your family. I will see you after the holidays are over. Everybody have a good evening. This is Terry. I'm out.